Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. My name is Hunter, and welcome back. And we're going to be talking about more winter storm potential as we go through the Super Bowl weekend. And we're looking at the pattern into the middle of February. Could this bring more cold and more winter storms? We'll answer that question later on in the video. For now, though, to help stay engaged with the weather forecast, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Follow along with all my detailed, accurate weather breakdowns on this channel. Turn on the post notification bell so you are notified for any future videos and live streams. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, and share this video with friends, family, and on social media. I definitely appreciate it. Let's look at our high temperatures we achieved across the western U.S. this afternoon. Warmest of our air down here across the south, Southern California, eastward to New Mexico and West Texas. A lot of 70s and 80s out there. Coldest of the air further up to the north into Montana, where we actually stayed sub-zero in single digits below zero this afternoon. Now, as we head into tomorrow morning, on Thursday morning, here's where temperatures will go. We could be as cold as 10, 15 degrees below zero with our air temperatures in Montana, and our wind chills by tomorrow morning could be pushing 30 below, especially in northeastern portions of Montana. Our actual air temperatures down here across portions of the south, across Southern California, Arizona, New Mexico, and West Texas will be mainly in the 40s and the 50s to start off Thursday morning. What about the central U.S.? Coldest of our air this afternoon up to the north. You walked outdoors in the Twin Cities. Milwaukee, Chicago, pretty chilly up there. Temperatures ranging from the teens to the low 30s. Warmest of our air down here in the Lone Star State in Texas, especially West Texas, near 90 this afternoon, south of Lubbock. And then along the Gulf Coast states from Louisiana eastward to Georgia, we actually saw highs in the mid to upper 70s. And as we start off the day tomorrow on Thursday morning, we're only going to drop down into the mid and upper 60s along the Gulf Coast states. Cold air moving into the Dakotas and Minnesota could promise some single digits, and our wind chills up here could actually be below zero, especially North Dakota, pushing close to 30 degrees below zero tomorrow morning. So if you're heading off to work or school, make sure to bundle up and bundle up in layers, as this could actually cause frostbite in less than 30 minutes time. Let's look here at the Northeast and the Eastern United States. Northeast is going to be the coldest here this afternoon. High temperatures achieved will be in the single digits and the teens. 30s from the Ohio Valley to the Mid-Atlantic, and look at the temperatures down here into Georgia, South Carolina, but especially Florida, South Central Florida, well into the 80s this afternoon. And looking here at tomorrow morning, our low temperatures from Kentucky south to the Gulf Coast will be in the 60s. Some colder air damming there in Virginia and the North Carolina. Could be seeing lows there around freezing, maybe even in the low 40s, so a little chillier of a start there for you, especially in North Carolina. Now, where do our temperatures go as we go through the rest of this upcoming weekend? Well, here we go tomorrow on Friday, February 7th, the warmest of our air back here into Texas, and then preceding our weekend system, we're going to have some warmer air, but that weekend storm will pull down some colder air on the backside, especially up here into the northern U.S. That's where the coldest of our air will be felt, but the actually coldest core of air will be up here in Alberta and Saskatchewan. That will be Western Canada as we go into Super Bowl Sunday. Now let's look here at the West. We've been pummeled by very heavy rain, very heavy snow over the past several days. That's what we call the Pineapple Express. Other people have called it the atmospheric river. We're taking a break from that briefly for California. Yes, there could be some rain and snow showers, not as widespread, but here comes another storm system tomorrow afternoon, bringing more widespread rain to the foothills, and we see higher elevations like the Sierras, Cascades here in Oregon, seeing some heavy snow, and that will continue as we go into Friday, and then we shut the taps off for moisture for the most part across the West as we go into Sunday on Super Bowl, February 9th. Looking here at the additional rainfall accumulation, additional precipitation that we're seeing here, this is in inches. We could be seeing a couple more inches of rain across the foothills of California up into Oregon there, and the snowfall, yes, there could be another 2 feet on the way for the Sierras over the next few days. So if you are loving the ski resorts out there, a lot of snow, you're going to like skiing, you're going to like snowboarding, because we have a lot more snow on the way in addition to what we've already seen. Now, a little bit more of a troublesome storm system for the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, the Northeast, and the Mid-Atlantic could be for an ice storm that could start to break out this evening across places like northern Illinois into northern Indiana and Ohio. In the pinks, that's the ice. Blue is snow, rain is green, and notice that gets a little stronger as it pushes east. Now, I will say heavier precipitation rate into Pennsylvania, even though you see ice on here as the pink. heavier precipitation rate actually leads to lower ice accretion. That's what we're hoping for, and hopefully we get a lot of runoff and not a lot of ice accretion. So hopefully that could temper some of the ice storm potential into Pennsylvania, but we do have some cold air damming there here into Maryland, the panhandle of West Virginia, Northern Virginia. Severe weather side down here into Kentucky, Tennessee we'll be keeping an eye on, and then the snow side further to the north. And then that will be continuing as we go into Friday. Notice on the severe weather side, the Storm Prediction Center has maintained a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk in the dark green across southern Ohio, western West Virginia, down through Kentucky here like Lexington, Richmond, and Pikeville, all the way back down into Nashville here in Jackson, Tennessee. That's where we have the potential for some damaging winds to 60 miles per hour, some quarter-size hail, and a very low but brief tornado risk as well. And then as we go into tomorrow, they do have a marginal risk in similar areas, but a smaller area as we go into Thursday. Looking at the next storm system that will begin to develop, you can see a low pressure around southwestern Kansas, snow to the north with the deeper cold air in place, and then we have some moisture coming up from the Gulf. That could bring some rainfall to the Ohio Valley, and notice as we go into Saturday evening, similar areas seeing snow. The snow line may be just a little bit further south this time, and then you can see the ice threat, very similar areas, and then the rain threat, severe weather threat as well, could be in similar areas. So Kentucky down to Tennessee could be seeing some stronger storm potential as we go into that Saturday night, but Sunday time frame. Northeast snow could be notable there for Sunday. And looking at the precipitation here in the east, these are with our two upcoming systems. That is between now and Super Bowl Sunday. Could be seeing a couple of inches of rain for the Ohio River Valley down to the Tennessee Valley, and then precipitation heavier toward the northeast. A lot of that will be falling as snow. We could be seeing some notable snow here from the Twin Cities to Green Bay all the way over to Grand Rapids, and then the heaviest snow across the northeast. In fact, let's break this down a little further for you. The first system coming through Friday could bring us maybe a good 2 to 4 inches of snow. Places like Boston, Concord, New Hampshire, down into Hartford, into Providence, into places like Trenton, Albany, New York. Keeping an eye on that. And then our second system will be adding on another 5 to 8 plus inches. And by the time it's all said and done, by Super Bowl Sunday evening, we could be dealing with a foot of snow in Boston, a foot of snow here in Concord, New Hampshire, Albany, New York as well, and Worcester, Massachusetts. So we definitely could be seeing quite a bit of snow as we go through the rest of this week. And then the ice threat is in between. Yes, we have some high ice amounts on here in Pennsylvania. And yes, I do think a lot of this will be falling at a heavy rate, so ice accretion will be lower than these models show. I still do think some treacherous travel, scattered power outages will be possible across the Ohio Valley and Pennsylvania, and then down here into Maryland, the Panhandle, and eastern portions of West Virginia and Northern Virginia. Even Delaware could see some ice too, and that could be up to a quarter inch in some spots, maybe even isolated half-inch ice amounts, and that would be enough to cause some big problems not only on the roads, but again, power outages could result. Now, going into next week, this is Monday, February 10th through Friday, February 14th, we're going to have a lot colder of air source closer to the United States. In fact, it's in the United States next week here in the plains, and that could dive as far south as the Texas Panhandle. And that's going to squash our ridge of high pressure, otherwise our warm air source across the Gulf Coast, and that's our active storm track. Look at how fast our jet stream is going to be moving from west to east or west-southwest to east-northeast across the United States, and that's our highway for storms as we go into next week. So here we go, looking at Monday, February 10th, already another storm coming together here into the Ohio Valley, into the Mid-Atlantic, up into the I-95 corridor of the Northeast. Could be seeing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday chance for snow there. And then going into later next week, another storm trying to get together here. How intense these storms will be are still a big question mark. I'm more confident actually on the storm happening the following week. This could be an overrunning setup and a bigger winter storm, possibly the biggest winter storm of February thus far, by around the 15th, 16th, and 17th of the month. And this could bring a lot of snow, ice, and potential severe weather. Now, looking at next week in general, before we get to that big snowstorm, we could be seeing including a decent swath from the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, Mid-Atlantic, and the Northeast. Yes, the I-95 corridor, Boston to New York City, Philly, also down into Baltimore, maybe even DC, could be seeing snowfall amounts of 6, maybe 12 inches or more in this pattern, and some heavy rain on the warm side down here into the Gulf Coast states, the Southeast, maybe up toward the Delmarva, of multiple inches of rain. So this could cause flash flooding over time, as each successive storm system could actually make the soil saturated and bring the potential for flash flooding toward the middle of February. And then by the middle of the month into the third week of the month here, this is Saturday, February 15th through the following Saturday, February 22nd. This is the control model. I think it actually does a very good, it has a good idea of where the cold air source will be. It'll start up here in Western Canada and then be dropping down through the plains and then shifting eastward later into that third week of February, and with it could bring some more snow as above normal precipitation overlaps that cold air into the eastern United States. So the Ohio Valley, parts of the Midwest, but especially the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast will be winners of the snowfall into the third week of February. Follow along with all my detailed, accurate weather videos here on this channel. Best way to do that, subscribe to the channel, right? Turn on post notifications so you have my videos, live streams in the future. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, very important there. Also, share this video with friends, family, and on social media. Leave a comment down below, especially if you do have any questions. I'll answer those after the video, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Wednesday out there.